Nice.
Hey, I've got a couple of riddles for you today, but those
Bright side. Hard? Man, why you gonna do that to me, man? Riddle, man, why you gonna give me the hard shit? Nigga, it's early, bro.
are hard,
Early
so
in the
start your
morning.
brain engine and let's go.
Fuck, should I fry up first before this? This the hard levels, man. I agree. You know what? Let me just jump in.
There was once a magical forest inhabited by elves and gnomes. Since they didn't get along very well, they lived in two different parts of the forest to avoid all conflict. One day, centaurs invaded the forest and elves and gnomes were forced out, running in different directions. Let's follow a small group of 6 creatures, 3 elves and 3 gnomes. They ran west, but unfortunately, they stumbled across a lake. None of them could swim, but luckily, there was a raft. The raft could only carry 2 creatures at once, 2 elves, 2 gnomes, or 1 elf and 1 gnome. So you need to figure out a way for all of them to cross the lake safely. Now, here's the problem.
Where is
If
it?
there are more gnomes on one side than elves, they will attack them.
Oh shit.
Even if an elf is on the raft, but not in the part of the lake where there are more gnomes than elves, it's still not safe. Can you figure out a way for them all to cross the lake safely?
Safe.
Okay, so here are 5.
So gnomes attack elves when the elves are outnumbered by those gnomes. What happens when the elves outnumber the gnome? Nothing?
5 possible
Okay,
first
anyway.
steps. 1 elf crosses the lake, or 1 gnome, or 2 elves, 2 gnomes.
Wait, repeat that?
Okay, so here are 5 possible first steps.
No, bro, wait. I want to figure it out too.
If there are more gnomes on one side than elves,
I want to figure it out. So, we got the 6 on one side. We got the 6 on one side. Everybody got to go to the other side safely.
Crazy.
Wait, hold on. I think I hear. Come on, bro. It's not supposed to be happening right now. The fuck? Okay, so everybody got to get to the other side safe. It's 6 of them. 3 elves, 3 gnomes. Cool. The gnomes never. The gnomes should never outnumber the elves. Cool. 3. So, but they can go 2-2 each, right? We first start. 1 elf, 1 gnome goes to the other side, right? But then how are they supposed to send the raft back? Okay, we first start 1 elf, 1 gnome. No. 2 gnomes. They go. 2 gnomes go to the other side. Now we have 1 gnome on the original side, right? 1 gnome on the original side with 2 elves. No. 1 gnome on the original side, right? With all 3 elves, right? Because it's 2 gnomes that went that side? No. We could do this. Oh shit, hold on. Nah, fuck. Because I'm thinking, yo, let's send 2 gnomes with 1 elf, but they gonna eat that elf. Right? They go eat that elf when they get to that side. No, we're gonna say 1 elf and 1 gnome go to the safe side, and then 1 elf comes back with the raft. Right? 1 elf comes back with the raft. So we got just 1 gnome remaining that side, and then we got 2 gnomes and 3 elves this side. And then that 1 elf, okay, 3 elves, 2 gnomes, right? 1 elf, no. 2 elves take 1 more gnome to the safe side. 2 elves take 1 gnome to the safe side, right? We had 1 gnome there. Now they take another gnome, so it's about to be 2 gnomes on the safe side. But it was 2 elves that took that 2nd gnome to the safe side. So now we got 2 elves on the safe side and 2 gnomes on the safe side. But people got to bring the raft back. And while there's 2 elves and 2 gnomes right there on the safe side, there's 1 elf and 1 gnome on the original side. Nobody's eating nobody up, right? And then we say what? Did they say only 2 people can be on the raft at a time? Because if it's like that, it's like that's fucked up. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Because I just explained the story where it could be three motherfuckers on the raft at a time. Okay, cool. But then now since we got the 1 elf and 1 gnome on the original side and on the safe side, right? We got the 2 gnomes and 2 elves. 1 elf brings no. It can't be a gnome, so it has to be an elf that brings the raft back to the original side and takes the rest of the motherfucker. Like, why couldn't they just go on the thing?
They will attack
I think
them.
it's 2 though.
Even if
I think
an
it's 2
elf is
people.
on the raft, but
Correct.
not in the part of the lake where there are more gnomes than elves, it's
Alright,
1
what's
elf
it?
crosses the lake, or 1 gnome, or 2 elves, 2 gnomes, or 1 elf and 1 gnome. But it doesn't make any sense to cross the lake alone, since they need to send the raft back somehow.
Exactly.
So those 2 options are out.
Wait.
Gnomes,
Start that. Start it
wait.
again.
Okay, so here are 5
Okay.
possible first steps.
What's the first one?
1 elf crosses the lake, or 1 gnome, or 2 elves, 2 gnomes, or 1 elf and 1 gnome. But it doesn't make any sense to cross the lake alone, since they need
yeah.
to send the raft
No.
back somehow.
Yes.
So those 2 options are out.
Has to
2
be at
elves
least
can't
2.
cross the lake together, because then the 3rd elf will be
Yes.
left alone with
I think
3
I was right.
gnomes, and they will attack him.
Oh my god.
So it's either 2 gnomes crossing the lake first, or an elf and a gnome.
What I say? Wait, no, what I say? Yeah, I said an elf and a gnome go first. Come on, bro. I was right. I said an elf and a gnome goes first, and then the elf comes back. Hold on. Yes, because now they balance, right? Because if an elf and a gnome goes to the safe side first, what remains on the original side is 2 elves, 2 gnomes. So it's balanced. Nobody's beating anybody up. And then from the safe side, the elf returns with the raft. And then that whole process that I explained.
So let's go with
Oh,
the 2
shit! I was wrong. Hold on.
gnomes.
What you mean?
So 2 of them cross the lake, and of course, 1 of them has
Yeah.
to come back.
Come back.
Now what? 2 elves can't leave together because
Yes.
the 3rd one is endangered.
Yes.
If an elf and a gnome leave together, then the one who is leaving will be in danger.
Wait. Is it that, right? Yeah, no. No, I said an elf and a gnome go first. And then the elf comes back. And then the elf comes back, gets another elf. No. Yeah, an elf comes back, gets another elf. No. An elf comes back, gets another 2 elves. No. The other one's gonna be eaten. No. Yeah, the elf comes back, gets another 1 elf. You know what I'm saying? It goes back with that one.
As soon as they cross the river. So 2 more gnomes leave together, and then 1 comes back. An elf and a gnome can't leave together because then there will be
They're gonna
3
eat that
gnomes
nigga
and
there.
1 elf on the other side.
Yes.
So this time, 2 elves cross the lake together.
No.
Who comes back?
Oh, the gnome comes back.
Not an elf, because
gnome
the other
comes
one
back.
can't be left alone there. A gnome can't go back alone.
Because they're gonna eat that
Otherwise,
other
there
nigga.
will be 2 gnomes and 1 elf on the first shore.
I was right.
So, a plot twist. An elf and a gnome come back together.
Oh.
Now, 2 gnomes can't cross the lake. An elf and a gnome can't go either. So the 2 remaining elves go to the other shore together. None of them can now return since there are 2 gnomes
So
left
return
on
a
that
gnome.
shore. So a gnome will return to pick up one of his buddies. Then another gnome will go to pick up the last gnome.
I don't confuse. Nah, I don't know what the fuck I said. But anyway.
But it's not the only solution. You could also succeed by sending a gnome.
That's
and
what I say. Let me repeat my shit. You know what I'm saying? Wait. Let me repeat my shit. Sit. Bro, step number 1, nigga. You feel? Wait. Let me come closer. Hold on. Hey, give me a chance. Hold on. So, step number 1, right? We got an elf and a gnome. An elf and a gnome, they go to the safe side. First, elf and a gnome go to the safe side. Nah? Right. And then there's the 2. And then there's the 2 remaining. 2 remaining. No beef, no squams, no nothing. They just... Wait, let me make my shit longer. Pause. But yeah, let me get my shit long so that the finger directions can show who I'm pointing to. So those niggas over there, step number 1, elf and a gnome, right? Who comes back though? Who returns from the? So that side over there is a safe side. This side is the original side. Safe side, original side. Cool. Established. So to the safe side first is the elf and a gnome. Coming back to the original side is just an elf. Right? Coming back to this original side is just the elf. That one elf collects. That one elf collects a gnome and an elf. So there's 3 niggas on the thing. They go to the safe side. I just don't know if you could do 3 niggas at the same time. But here's my shit. Right? Elfie over there comes back to the safe side. Collects 1 elf, 1 gnome. They go to the safe side. Right? Now at the safe side is gonna be 2 elves and 2 gnomes. Right? 2 elves, 2 gnomes. And then on the original side is just gonna remain 1 elf, 1 gnome. But then returning to the original side will be 1 elf and 1 gnome. You don't send 1 motherfucker, right? 1 elf and 1 gnome, they come back to the original side. They take that 1 elf that's remaining. Come back. No, right? They take that 1 elf. They put him on the safe side. And then a gnome returns alone. Right? To the original side to get his brother, the other gnome. Come back to the safe side. Everybody safe. Chillin'. Alright, let's see. What you talking about?
Elf together as a first move.
Yes.
Here's a graph of how it would play out.
Wait. Repeat that.
But it's not the only solution. You could also succeed by sending a gnome and an elf together as a first move.
Oh shit. And
Here's a graph of how it would play out.
I think I said that. This shit too mindfucking. Yeah, this shit too mindfucking. But I think I said this.
Remember, no matter how far you travel,
Yeah.
there's no place like gnome.
Alright.
Okay, great job. Now it's time for the second riddle. And
Okay.
this one comes from Esme. This girl often goes for a walk in a forest and typically gets lost.
Little Red Riding Hood.
This time, though, she doesn't get lost. Here's her way home, but she's tempted to go visit her old friend, a witch, who lives in that forest.
A witch?
Esme has an amazing riddle, and it's pretty hard, so she thinks she has a good chance of winning the witch's cat. So, Esme goes to the witch's house and offers the following. I bet you can't solve my riddle. If I'm right, your cat will go home with me. The witch believes she can solve any riddle, so she takes that risk. Esme puts a big acute triangle on the table. Here, you can make 7 cuts to make this triangle disappear.
7
Every
cuts?
piece you cut off that is an acute triangle will disappear. But if a triangle has an angle that is right or obtuse, that piece
What?
will stay.
No.
Once again, that is an acute triangle will
Right or obtuse, but it's fuck all that definitions of triangles. I gotta look up what an obtuse shit is.
disappear. But if a triangle has an angle that is right or obtuse,
Okay, right is a straight. If it has a straight thing,
that piece will stay.
the piece stays, so it doesn't disappear. If it's right or obtuse, what's obtuse again, bruh? Fuck. Why you want me to do all this homework right here, dude? You know this shit fucks up my background music. Obtuse triangle, shit. This is how you spell it? Fuck. I don't even know, bruh. I'm super, like... Okay. An obtuse triangle is defined as a triangle that has one obtuse angle. What the fuck is an obtuse angle? Is it an angle greater than 90? So an angle greater than 90. Okay, obtuse angle greater than 90. Right angle is 90. Right, nigga. Alright, cool. Bet. Repeat all that
cut
again.
off that
Fuck.
isn't a... Esme puts a big acute triangle on the table. Here, you can make 7 cuts to make this triangle disappear. Every piece you cut off that is an acute triangle will disappear. But if a triangle...
Oh, an acute triangle. So less than 90 degrees. It's an angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Obtuse is more. And then 90 degrees is right.
has an angle that is right or obtuse, that piece will stay.
That stays?
Once again,
Wait, that stays.
that is an acute triangle will disappear.
Oh,
But-
less than 90 degrees. Actually, less than 90 degrees is what disappears. That's what we're looking
But
for.
if a triangle has an angle
We're not
that
looking
is
for that.
right or obtuse, that piece will stay.
Ah, shit. Okay, cool.
Once again, 7 cuts, and you have to make the whole
7.
triangle disappear. Not a single smallest piece can be left.
Mm-hmm.
So, how can the witch do that and keep her cat? Whenever
So we're looking for smaller than a 90 degree. This shit right here can't work. So, okay, this nigga just gave away the first one, right? Boom. 7 though. It has to be 7. First one right here. Second one. No. But let me see
you
how
make
you
a
break it
cut,
down.
it'll either produce 2 right angles or an acute and obtuse angle. The witch seems to be doomed that and keep her cat. Whenever you make a cut, it'll either produce 2 right
2 right angles. Let me see. 2 right angle.
angles or an acute and obtuse angle. The witch seems to be doomed, but then she looks at the pizza she hasn't finished. When you cut into more than 4 pieces, all angles are acute. The problem is that a pizza is round, and we're dealing with a triangle. Still, the trick also works with other shapes, like hexagons and pentagons. Good for the witch, she can make a pentagon out of this acute triangle by making just 2 cuts.
Oh.
The small cut-off triangles are acute, and they disappear. Now, the witch needs to deal with the pentagon like she does with a pizza. Cut it into 5 pieces using the last 5 cuts.
That's it.
That's a success story.
Nice.
Hey, we know you like the cat, Esme, but maybe get one of your own. You wake up in a room with no windows or doors. The ceiling is extremely high, and the only way out is a closed hatch at the very top. Suddenly, the room starts filling with water. You've checked everywhere. There's no way to turn it off. You know that help is on the way, but they won't be here for at least 5 minutes. You're pretty sure the entire room will be flooded in 2. You definitely can't hold your breath for that long.
You gotta drink it.
You look around and find 3 objects: a straw, some rope, and a bucket. Only one of them can actually save you in this situation. Which one should you choose, and how's it going to help?
A bucket. No. One can save. Only one can save you. A rope. I don't know how. A rope. This is just a wild guess. Rope.
You should take the bucket.
Ah, fuck! Wait, nah. I can see how it can help you now. Oh, I can see how a bucket can help. Because for as long as you keep it face down, bro, and then you go underwater with it, it's like a vacuum is created where, fuck, I don't know how to explain it properly, but like it's like taking a glass, like a glass cup, right? Immersing it underwater, but like facing down. It's gonna have like a bubble of air towards the end, towards like the bottom of the glass, but the bottom is at the top, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you can keep your head, and like it's the same concept with like the bucket facing downwards, covering your head, and then just keeping your head at the top of the, well, at the bottom of the bucket, because the bottom is gonna be at the top of your head, and that gap to breathe is gonna be, I think.
Flip it over and put your head inside when the water gets to head height. You'll have your very own small air pocket to help you
an air
breathe
pocket.
until help arrives. Uh-oh.
Oh my
You're in a
God, it's what? Oh. But the only air in there is your own breath. Because it's not fresh air. Like, there's no other air besides the air in that pocket. So, you're breathing your own breath. Like, you're recycling your own breath. That's an interesting fucking thing to think about. I think, right? That's what it is, right?
building that just caught on fire. You need to escape, but the fire just keeps spreading and spreading. You're feeling dizzy, and the smoke is making it hard to see.
Hey, man.
And the heat, it's
I'm
insane.
gonna leave y'all alone to figure
Suddenly,
these
you
things
see
out,
3
bro.
paths that lead outside, but it's not going to be so simple.
Right back.
There's no fire near the first exit, but it's on the opposite side of the burning room. The second exit is right in front of you, but the upper part is completely covered in flames. The final exit is through the kitchen. There's shattered glass everywhere, but the flames are barely touching it, and the door is wide open. Which exit should you take? Even though the first exit isn't on fire, an indoor blaze is totally unpredictable. Flames can pop up out of nowhere. Going through a kitchen is never a good idea in a fire. There might be exposed gas lines in there. Your best bet is to go for the closest path and crawl your way to safety. Well, you're stranded in the middle of a desert and are in desperate need of water. You crawl along, trying to find any source to hydrate yourself. As nighttime rolls around, the wind gets stronger and it starts to get cold. You sit down next to a tree. How are you going to find water in the middle of a desert? Grab 2 of the largest tree branches you can find, and then rip your outer shirt and stretch it out over them, kind of like a sail. Shove the 2 branches into the sand to anchor them. The water in the atmosphere will get caught on the cloth and drip down for you to collect. Well, you're tied up on some railroad tracks and can't wriggle free. There's a train heading your way, and it doesn't look like it's stopping. Oh well, if you stretch your arms out, you can just reach a lighter, a small pocket razor, and a can of oil. Which can you use to escape? Pour the oil on the ropes holding you down. It'll act as a lubricant, and you'll be able to wriggle free. Taylor finished another awesome ice fishing session. He packed up his gear and walked back home with his dinner. Halfway back to the car, he realized he was being followed by a hungry cougar. It started chasing him. Taylor was so close to his car, but the cougar was gaining on him. What should he do? He should fling the fish to the side to distract the cougar. Then he should ditch all his gear. It's just slowing him down. That way, he's got a chance of making it to the car before he turns into cougar chow. Well, you find yourself in a pitch-black room. The room is huge and there are many hallways and corridors leading to unknown places. You need to find your way out before the room starts heating up like an oven. You only have 2 minutes. You can feel some pipes on the wall but nothing else. How can you save yourself? When the pipes start heating up, they'll probably turn red. It'll already be super hot by then, but you'll have just enough time to figure out the layout of the room and find a way to escape. Angela decided to go for a nice walk in the forest. About an hour in, she tripped and spilled all her water. No problem. Right in front of her was a tiny lake, and close by a small stream and a cactus. Which one should you use to get herself a refreshing drink of water? She should head for the stream. That lake isn't moving. That means it probably has bacteria living in it. And a single cactus won't have enough water to quench your thirst. Even though the stream is pretty small, moving water is almost always the safest option. What are those things? Oh, paw prints. Those are bear tracks heading to the forest, a wolf print coming out of the forest, and some elk prints heading toward a lake. Well, what's the best place to go if you're not into the whole being eaten thing? Think fast. The bear going into the forest probably scared that large dog off. Oh, you thought those were wolf prints? Not likely. Wolves mostly travel in packs. The bear is most likely chasing the elk, so they'll both end up at the lake. That means the forest's safe for now. You're stuck in a well in a small village, and the water's already up to your knees. There's a rope leading to the mouth of the well, but it's definitely not strong enough to hold you. You look around and find a bucket, some clothing, and a lighter. How do you escape? Shove the clothes in the bucket, tie the bucket to the rope, and light the clothes on fire. Then quickly hoist the bucket up. Chances are, in such a small village, someone will see the smoke and run over to help you. A small cafe in Boston is called 9 Lanterns, but there are only